Sarvebhya Namo Namaha. Today we have another series of lectures on traditional values and Sanaatana Dharma from Mahabharata. So far, we have completed 1.5 months. During the first 1 month, we have covered the basics of various topics, right from Vedas, Vedangas, Dharma Sutras, Upanishads, Darshanas, Vimana Shastra, Bhagavad-Gita, Puranas, Ayurveda, and during the second month, we had Vedic mathematics, and during last week, we had Shodasa Samaskaram. Now we are going to start with another very important topic from Dr. Nagaraja Rao Garu, that is traditional values and Dharma Sutras from Mahabharata. We welcome him. And now let us start our session with Vande Mataram, singing by C.C. Babu Garu. Thank you.
I think we all stand.
Please start.
Right. Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. Sujalam Sufalam. Malayaj Sitalam. Tasya Syamalam Mataram. Vande Mataram. Suprajyosna Pulakitayamini Pullakusumita Drumadala Sobhini Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini Sukhadam Varadam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram. Namaskar.
Dhanyavadaha, Babu Garu. Now let us have Prarthana. Vasundharaji will do Prarthana for all of us.
Dhanyavadah Mahodaya. 3 times and after that 1 minute dhyanam. One minute dhyanam. Om Suklam Baradharam Vishnum Sesivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा शरदिन्दु समाकारे परब्रह्मस्वरूपिणे वासरापीठनिलये सरस्वति नमोऽस्तु ते असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्तिः 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 मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ शान्तिः 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 गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः धन्यवादः।
धन्यवादः महोदया.
अस्तु महोदय.
Now I request Lalita Mahoday to start, to introduce the speaker to all of us.
Sarvebhyah Namaskaraha. And on behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and Sanaatana Dharma course, today I welcome Dr. Karanam Nagaraj Rao Garu. He is a retired professor from Alliance University in Bangalore. Basically, his background is, he is a management professional. And also, he has done his master's in political science and sociology. And he has done his PhD in management from JNTU Hyderabad. He has also got an advanced diploma in Vedanta from Chinmaya International Foundation, Povida from Samskruta Bharati, and a yoga diploma from Vyasa University, Bangalore. And he has published nearly 60 articles in peer-reviewed journals, including European Case Center and Sage journals. He has 2 published books, that's Management Insights from Motivational Slokas and Business Ethics. That's all caselets, and they are available on Amazon. His interests revolve around research in Itihasa literature, and his Mahabharata stories can be seen under his blog, unclekatha.com. One can view his lectures both in English and Telugu in the YouTube. We are really very blessed and we feel honored to have him amidst us as a speaker. And it will be a series of lectures on traditional values and Dharma Shastras in context of Mahabharata. We welcome you again, sir, on behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and Sanaatana Dharma course as a faculty for the coming week. Thank you, sir.
Namaste, madam. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I'll start my lecture with reciting the Raman Shloka, which normally I used to recite for all my lectures. Sadasiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. For all of you, my salutations. And here, Veda Samskruti Samiti, this particular organization, I was not hearing about this organization. I heard about this organization through the famous scholar Chirravuri Sivaram Krishna Garu. He told me about this organization and he introduced me to Akella Prasad Garu. Prabhakar Rao Garu. He introduced me. And only one occasion only we spoke on WhatsApp. I never saw him. I think he has not seen me also. And about the Veda Samskruti Samiti also, I was not aware of it. Now only I came to know about this organization through, after knowing it, I come across this Google. I searched and I saw the entire thing. And it is promoting the cultural values, traditions, the way of living all these things, because of course they were telling all this time that Ayurveda and Puranas, Itihasas, and all these things are already covered, it seems. So the majority of the persons whom I see in this audience, most of you are all are elder persons are there. And here, that is why what I can humbly tell is that it is only an interactive session. I am also not a great scholar. Of course, my area of research in my post PhD is Mahabharata only. Mahabharata and again Samskrita Mahabharata, Veda Mahabharata only. So because of this reason, maybe Chirraur Sivaram Krishna sir has referred my name. Otherwise, I would not have got this chance also. So first of all, I thank this organization, and then I would like to start my lecture today. Today, my lecture is in the 5-day lecture course is there. What I propose to do is that from tomorrow onwards, I will be sharing the screen. I will be telling a story initially, and then I will be discussing the story, and then at the end of the story, I will be putting some questions to all of you. This is the way. Today, what I propose to do is that the general introduction to Mahabharata. What is Mahabharata? That is one thing. Second thing is that why Mahabharata is called Panchama Veda, and why it should be read at all. What is the use of reading a book which has been written, the story which has happened some 5,000 years back, it has happened. Why we should read it? That is also basic question, no? Because whenever we audience is there, whenever we hear something, we should know the reason why we are hearing this. That is more important. Otherwise, yeah, it will be boring. After some time, what will happen? No, why this is not relevant to me like that? So even in all my lectures, including my students, when I was teaching my MBA people, I was telling the same thing. You should know why it is being taught. You should understand why it should be understood. So here, majority, because all of you, I believe that after seeing the faces of all the persons, I feel that majority of you know better than me. But still, the occasion has come. It happened that I am going to be a teacher today, and you are going to be the students. And let us think that there are two ways. Normally, this lectures and all these things, andragogy and pedagogy, we talk two things. Pedagogy is the thing that is taught to the children of the same age people. Maybe even if children means even if they are 20 years also, they're same age people, same profile, same background and all these things. But here is andragogy is something which is very difficult to tell because if they're elders, we will be having lot of backlogs will be there, lot of learning will be there. We need to sometimes we need to unlearn certain things. Sometimes our bent of mind will be like that. So all these things also we need to discard all these things one after another, and then we have to think that today we are students only like that. Otherwise, the lecture cannot happen also. So this is this background. The thing is that because Mahabharata, particularly what we are talking is a lot of misconceptions are there in Mahabharata. You believe it or not, there are some occasions, if you begin to read Mahabharata, you find some misconceptions. Just one or two example I am giving you. So Mayasabha, everybody knows Mayasabha, the aspect Duryodhana entered Mayasabha. That is there. Then when Mayasabha, he entered into Mayasabha, Draupadi laughed at him. That is what we have read in all the places. Majority of us, because maybe some people must have read Veda Vyasa Mahabharata. There are some people, majority of the people, I believe, because why Mahabharata cannot be read is the hugeness, of course. And Draupadi laughed at him because of this reason. He got the grudge and he wanted to avenge against her. That is why he dragged her to the court of his court, and then Vastrapaharanam and all these things we will be discussing. But it is not there in Mahabharata. Draupadi never laughed at him, only Bhimasena laughed at him. And what is picturized in Mahabharata is something different. Ekalavya story also same thing. Ekalavya story is a lot of misunderstanding is there in it. And if you understand it properly, how the Guru is correct and how Ekalavya is not correct, we come across all these things. But thing is that here the useness of Mahabharata is such that it is consisting of 1 lakh slokas. And if you add Harivamsha also, Harivamsha is also annexure to Mahabharata. If we add that also it is again 1,25,000 slokas we are having. So 1,25,000 slokas, even if it is translated also, it is very difficult to read because so many big books will be there. Some if you take Gorakhpur Press, normally I follow Gorakhpur Press because Mahabharata is again different versions of Mahabharata is there. North Indian Prati is there, South Indian Prati is there. Then again, Kesari Ganguly book is there. Like there, so many books are there. So that is why we need to follow any one set of things. If you follow, that is better. Anyway, I follow Gorakhpur Press, that is Gita Press, what they have published. That Gita Press book only I am following. Here the hugeness is such that 1,25,000 shlokas, if you begin to read, it is very difficult to understand also. It is not so easy because Mahabharata is the summary of the entire Vedas, summary of entire Upanishads, summary of everything is there in Mahabharata. That is why Veda Vyasa initially, today of course introduction portion please. Introduction also you will be understanding many other aspects. That is why I am telling introduction and also a story also at the end. Here Mahabharata 1,25,000 shlokas, difficult to read, and somebody, even if a serious reader, if you try to attempt, what will happen is that you will be going through one or two books. By the time, what will happen is that the depth of the subject is such that it cannot go inside the mind unless you have some basic background of Vedanta, unless you have some basic background of Dharma Shastras. All this is also you should have the idea. Otherwise, what will happen is that it is a big forest wherein you will be trading in the forest, don't know what is there, where it is there, like that. And at the end of the day, you will be forgetting many names also. So this is how it goes. After some time, what will happen is that we stop the book and we tend to read some other what is called cinema stories, as films we will see, or whatever that is picturized in serials. So all the serials and all these things are made for the purpose of presenting their own views and also presenting, popularizing and also marketing their own issues only. All films are like that. Then here something is different. Misconceptions are like that. In Ramayana, if you take into consideration, Ahalya has become a stone, we read. But Ahalya never became a stone. She was Adrusya Shakti. When Rama came there and she appeared before him, and Rama actually pranamed. He put a pranam to Ahalya. That is a story. But what we read in what is called in the films is something different. So this misconception, all this is will be there. That is why andragogy, pedagogy we call it. Pedagogy means people will be having a clean slate of mind will be there. They don't have any backgrounds. They will come there, sit there, students, they will be sitting there, and whatever we teach, it will go directly into their mind and it will be imprinted or impregnated on their minds. But here for the elder people, what will happen is that they will be having something different setups will be there. Different backgrounds will be there. They come from different areas and different morals, ethical issues, and all these things will be there. So this is why what will happen is it's very difficult to teach elders. And again, I am attempting this particular what is called very difficult task today. Maybe please understand my concerns also. And at the same time, if I make any mistake also, you can correct me because our big audience is there. In this background, let us start. How big Mahabharata is there? Why Mahabharata is called Panchama Veda? This type of things. Mahabharata is called Panchama Veda. Panchama Veda means it is called is the fifth Veda. Four Vedas we are having. This is the fifth Veda. Why it is called fifth Veda means Mahatvat Bharavatvat iti Bharatam uchyate. Like that they tell. Mahatva is also there. Bharavatva is also there. What is Bharavatvam here? Bharavatvam means Mahat is there because Dharma Shastra is there, Niti Shastra is there, Ashaniti is there, and then Ayurveda is there, Dhanurveda is there. Whatever what is here is there everywhere. What is not here is not there anywhere, like that Veda Vyasa tells. Yadi hasti tad anyatra, enne hasti natat kochit. Like that they tell. Thing is that here, whatever that is there is whatever that is there in Mahabharata is there everywhere. What is not in Mahabharata is nowhere. This is a Mahabharata. Veda Vyasa will start in the Mahabharata. He wrote like that because he is having that much of confidence to tell the audience that this is, if you read this, this is sufficient. And if you, everything is here only. Everything is here only means you cannot compare it like that, because there are some people, some time back when I was giving a lecture of this nature, somebody asked, is a nuclear science is there in it? Physics is there in it, and all many other things. What I am trying to tell here is that there are two ways of understanding this statement. Yadi hasti tad anyatra, enne hasti natat kvachit. How to understand it is, there are some scholars who interpret it like that. Thing is that here, whatever that is available, the entire knowledge that is available at that particular period of time when Veda Vyasa wrote this, the entire thing is embedded in it. It is Vedas Sangrahana is there in Mahabharata. Vedas are Prabhu Samhitas, they tell. Prabhu, what the king tells, you do this, you don't do this. Vidhi Nishedha Vakyas. So what they will be telling is that you should do it, you should not do it, like that. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, like that Vedas will be telling. That is normally what will happen is that for common people like us, it will not go into our mind. Satyam Vada, we will hear it, okay. Satyam Vada. But it will not go into your mind unless if a person is there, Harishchandra is there, that Harishchandra was so particular about Satyam. He was speaking only Satya and he was never speaking untruth and his story, entire thing. Then how he faced all the difficulties. Subsequently, how Dharma has become a victorious. So if you read all the story, what will happen? Then it will be impregnated in our mind and we will believe that Satyam Vada, it has really some statement is there. But that is called Prabhu Samhitas or Vedas or Prabhu Samhitas. Normally, common people will not understand it. What we have to do is that this Vedas, Veda Pranalika is such that our Sanaatana Dharma Pranalika is such that Vedas are there. They are meant for certain sections of the people who can understand them. But there are some people who cannot understand the Vedas. Can we ignore those persons? No, we are not supposed to ignore those persons. What we are supposed to do is that then Prabhu Samhitas, after Prabhu Samhitas, there are what is called Mitra Samhitas, there are called Itihasas. Mitra Samhitas, they come and tell you like a friend. They'll be telling, hey, Babu, come here, and I'll be telling you something, please listen, like that. Then what will happen? Normally, many times, we'll be hearing with our friends. Friends will be giving some piece of advice. We hear it and we follow it. So these are itihasas are like that. Itihasa means it is again different from charitra. That is called history. It is not neither history nor anywhere at the same time called it is not mythology. And what is called this itihasa? Itihasa means itihasa. It happened like this, like that. The Sanskrit word is put like that. It happened like that means it is actually a history. But at the same time, here we find there are mythical characters will be coming. Indra is coming down, Brahma is coming down, Vishnu is coming down, and they will be talking with the normal people. So we feel that it is a myth. It is not a myth. Thing is that in those days, gods were mingling with the people. People were such a nature because Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, in these different periods of time, there are certain periods of time where gods were coming down and they were talking to the people. But here, there may be after Kali Yuga, what happened is that at the end of this Kali Yuga, we may not be seeing. That doesn't mean that we don't believe in all these things. It might have happened all these things. Now also we'll be coming across, there are some people will be giving some experiences. I was doing certain aspects, suddenly some person came and advised. Yesterday, there was one person, my relative only, he was picturizing one film, Shankaracharya. What he told is that he was narrating his own opinion. What is his opinion is that when he was putting that Shankaracharya film, he was filming that Shankaracharya film, the Sambhashana between Chandala and Shankaracharya is there. And then Chandala has to come with the dogs. These people thought Maneka Gandhi, those type of persons are there, they may not support, but then there may be some problem for censor and all this is if dog comes there and all this is they thought and they omitted dog and only Chandala came like that. At the time suddenly there was some person appeared there and he came there and he told there should be a dog should be there here, otherwise the film will not be having a narrative like that. So like that he was narrating, he was literally he was weeping. He was telling that at the time there are some God only came here and suggested us like that. So here like that, here and now also we'll be seeing gods, but of course in disguised form. But there in those days they were coming directly and they were talking. So this is why what happens is that in Mahabharata, so we come across this myth. If we feel that it is a myth, all these mythical characters are there and all these things are there. But it is also itihasa because the many evidences are coming up, many researches are coming up that it has happened. Even Meerut, if you go there, Hastinapura is near to that place only. Then you come across all these places. I went there actually to see whether anything is there or not. Big buildings are there inside. Majority of us will not see all these things. Distance from Kurukshetra and this place. How much distance is there? Whether war has taken place. And at that time, how many kilometers of distances they walked. And all these things we have to do. We have to read. We have to understand. We have to do some research. Otherwise, you cannot rely on books, and all books it is narrating. Sri Rama Yatra, entire thing is picturized, everything is there, all places are now located. So here all these things you cannot say that they have never happened also. This is called Panchama Veda because it is an extract of all Vedas. Vedas will be telling Prabhu Samhita, but it is called Itihasa. This is called Itihasa. It will be telling about like a Mitra, it will be telling. There are Puranas again, they are there. They are what we can call, they are called Kanta Samhita. Kanta Samhita means like a flower coming there and telling you something like that, and then you will listen. That is called Kanta Samhitas. That is called Puranas. There will be a lot of elaboration will be there. Sometime it will be elaboration also there at the same time. Atyukti also will be there. There you should not Arthavadas, we call it. What is Arthavada again? Arthavada is something in those days, maybe in the days of Mahabharata, people were building houses and they were touching the sky. They never touch the sky. Here, what we have to understand is that is Arthavada, Arthavada only. There, Vachya Artha is different from something different, and this Arthavada is something different. You should not understand or you should not interpret that particular piece of sentence in the literal sense. You have to understand it in a broader way and you have to interpret it. That is why majority of the persons, particularly outsiders, and there are some so-called Hindu scholars, they will be criticizing this Hindu Sanaatana Samskruti because they will be telling that Puranas they have mentioned 1,500 years somebody lived. How it is possible? It is all myth, never happened. So here these Puranas are to be understood because Puranas, the structure of Puranas are in such a way that they are meant for the very, very, very common people. That is why the stories are there. The stories, big narration will be there. If you do all this Vratam, then what will happen is that you are going to get lot of punyam. If you do certain things, you will go to Rauravana Rakam. These things they will be mentioning. Why they mention is that if you don't mention like that, there will not be civilization at all. You don't believe it. That is a way because if you read history, I'm a student of history. Napoleon Bonaparte famously told on one occasion, if there is no religion, you need to invent a religion. Why it is required? Because in religion is not there means people will go disarray. There will not be any discipline in the society. So why Dharma is there here? Dharma is protecting the entire culture all these years, 5,000 years of year or even earlier to that means Dharma is Dharayati iti Dharma. That which has actually holding the society. What held the society all these years for India? That is Bharat. This is only this thing only. It will be holding the society. Because we were never having kings were there. Kings will be there in some place if they will be there and they will be ruling the country. And there are common people will be there, villages particularly. Where is the king there? King is not there, nobody is there. But still there is rhythm is there. The rhythm, where it is, the rhythm has come. The rhythm has come from Sanaatana Dharma only. Because people will be having the belief. One is that you should respect your elders. You should take care of your elders. This type of things is called ethics, what we can call nowadays. Because the modern terminology, if you begin to use, more ethics we use it. Morals are something different and ethics is something different. Maybe people may be knowing about morals and ethics. A brief introduction that also I will be telling. Morals are something which is changed from time to time, place to place, and person to person. But we have to understand three aspects morals. One is called the change from place to place. What are morals for North India may not be morals for South India, vice versa. What are morals for India may not be morals for Saudi Arabia. Maybe Saudi Arabia, if a girl is going on a motorcycle, what will happen is that she will be taken out and she will be put in prison. But here it is not there, something different. And that doesn't mean that Saudi Arabia is wrong and we are correct. Morals are like that. The morals prevailing in the society, people that will be guiding the particular society, morals. So similarly, they change from time to time. What are morals for Ramayana period are not morals now. What will happen now is that at the time when now there are many persons who will be criticizing Ramayana. Why they criticize Ramayana is that Agni Pravesha is there and Rama is such a bad person. Like that they will be criticizing. Morals are different in those days. Now morals are something different. You cannot compare a particular itihasa literature with the present day moral values. You cannot what is called assess the value of a particular itihasa with the current moral traditions settings and all these things. You cannot compare them. They are something different and we are something different. So that is the thing. Similarly, they change from person to person. Some person, the moral is like that. You do some good only, you have to do. There are some people will say what is good. And Mahabharata, we come across a lot of situations will be coming up. What is ahimsa and what is himsa? A person doing something ahimsa, and he is not supposed to be good sometimes. What will happen is that ahimsa is something good and ahimsa is something wrong sometimes. All those things we come across in the next 4 or 5 classes. So here they will be changing, but ethics is something which is automatic. It is crystallized morals applied by rationality. You take a moral, apply rationality for it, and if it is standing to the test of reason, then it is called ethics. That is normally followed in offices and all other places. So normally when we go to offices, we never talk about business morals. We will be talking about business ethics only. Why? Because ethics is something which is crystallized morals, applied by rationality, applied by reason. You apply reason for it. If it is standing to the test of the reason, that is ethics. So they normally follow certain basic principles they will be following. Here also Sanaatana Dharma is actually, it will be having some basic traditions. The basic traditions are, they will be never changing. That is called Sanaatana Dharma. Also Sanaatana does not mean it is old. Sanatana means, maybe many persons must have told you all these things already. Sanatana is Sadatana, what we can call. It is always, it is a timeless. It is not delimited by time. It is there for centuries also, it will be there. For centuries together, there are certain values which we have to protect. Those values are called, what is called Sanatana Dharma. This Sanatana Dharma is protecting the entire society. Don't covet the, what we can call, the property of other persons. Don't covet the wife of other person. These are the things, no, these are the things. But what is called, you have to respect your elders. These are the things what we can call, these are called certain traditions which are even North India, if we go there, South India it is not so prominent. A child will be coming, and if he sees a bigger elder person, he will just immediately prostrate and he will do pranam. The tradition is there from the beginning, it is there. Mahabharata, you come across the same thing. Mahabharata, Sri Krishna, Dharmaraja, Bhima. When Sri Krishna comes to Pandavas, he will be doing salutations to Dharmaraja, and he will be hugging Bhimasena, blessing Arjuna, and he will be just patting on Arjuna and Sahadeva, Nakula and Sahadeva. We come across this, what is called protocol, we will be saying. Balarama, if he comes, Balarama and Dharmaraja will be hugging. This is a Dharmaraja, Sri Krishna, even though he is a god, he will be doing the salutations to Dharmaraja because Dharmaraja is the elder person. The tradition is there. Even now also we are having the same tradition. 5,000 years or 10,000 years, whatever it may be, all these years we have preserved this culture because of these traditions only. Traditions are there in Mahabharata. Mahabharata is Panchama Veda also because all our dharmic roots are embedded in Mahabharata only. Traditions, dharmas, and all these things are embedded in Mahabharata and Ramayana only. And Mahabharata, we call it Panchama Veda because of its Mahatvat, Bharavatvat. What is Bharavatvam? This we will discuss first. Bharavatvam is actually, if you compare the literature of, say, Odyssey, Iliad, this is called Greek literature, famous kavyas. Now they are not read by any person. In Greece also nobody read all these things because it is totally occupied by Muslims. It is those things are never read nowadays. And other places also, casually, some libraries also, there are many libraries I have seen. Many libraries also we may not come across Iliad, Odyssey and all this is maybe very famous libraries, it may be there. Small libraries, they will not be there also. They are totally outdated now. They are not to be, nobody is reading them. But Mahabharata is not like that. Iliad, even if you take into consideration Bruhatvam, Odyssey and also Iliad, those two put together, if you take on one side and Mahabharata on the other side, Mahabharata is almost 8 times bigger than these two things. Shakespeare's entire literature, complete works of Shakespeare, if you take in on one side and Mahabharata on the other side, Mahabharata is at least 6 times bigger than Shakespeare's literature. So like that, what will happen is that is 1,25,000 shlokas we are having, 1 lakh plus 25,000 rupees, 25,000 shlokas of Harivamsa, 1,25,000 shlokas, too big one it is there, that is called Bruhatvam. Then Mahatvam is there, everything is there here, that is I told already. So here, there are many sutras are also there in Mahabharata. Introduction to Mahabharata. There are something, sometimes we will be coming across this Varnashrama Dharma. Majority of the persons will be criticizing this Varnashrama Dharma. But in In some upakhyanas we come across that particularly Dharma Vyada upakhyana and also Nahusha Prasnas, Yaksha Prasnas, and all these places we come across a common statement in Mahabharata that Varnashrama Dharma is not actually so rigid. It is actually like any society. If you go to an office, if you go to present day any office, if you go there are four types of persons will normally we come across. There is a manager who will be managing. Assume that he is a Kshatriya. There are some software persons will be doing all this background software and all these things. They are actually the backbone of the company. They are the persons who are giving what we can call knowledge potential, what is called now knowledge. They will be imparting knowledge. Those persons are called Brahmins. And there are some persons who are the normal clerical works. They can't do that type of work. They have to do other type of work. They are Shudras like that. And there are at the end what we can call substaff will be there, peon will be there. He cannot be given the post of the manager, and he cannot be given the post of some other thing. What will happen is that he is a peon because he is a Shudra like that. Maybe this, if you assume like that, in the society also, if you assume that a bigger office, what will happen is that in the entire society we have four structures. That is, they have divided like that. Guna, karma, vibhagayoho, like that only Krishna has told in Gita. Guna and karma, these are the two things which are the deciding factors. What is guna and karma? In a guna aspect is a big one, of course. Karma only I am talking about now. Guna I am not talking. Sattva-rajas tamo gunas I am not talking about. Karma, if you take into consideration, those who do this is what is called kingly activities. That is called managerial activities. They are king because he has to protect the people. He is a Kshatriya. They're just denoted by. And there is some persons who will be giving the entire advice to the society. They should not earn again. A Brahmin is not supposed to earn. He should be living on alms only. He has to go for begging and somebody will be giving for him because he is giving the advices only. He is not supposed to do some business again. If he is doing the business, he is a Vaisya only again. This is actually now what has happened is that this is how it is there. But is there any transition from one Varna to other Varna? Yes, it is there. I will be reading one beautiful shloka. I will be reading one. This is called Shudrayono hi jatasya sadgunanu pratishtitaha. Shudrayono hi jatasya sadgunanu pratishtitaha. Vaishyatvam labhate brahman kshetriyatvam tathaivacha. Arjave vartamanasya brahmanyam abhijayate. Like that, this is there in Vanaparva. We come across this shloka. Vanaparva 2:12 chapter, and again 2:12, and again in that again 11th chapter, in that again 12th shloka. This is there in Vanaparva. Vanaparva in Telugu we call it as Aranya Parvam. We call in Sanskrit it is called Vanaparvam. Even though a person is born as a Shudra, Shudra yono hi jatasya sadgunanu pratishtitaha, if he develops the qualities, a peon is there in the office, if he develops the qualities of a software person, he can become a software engineer. If he develops the attitude, what we can call managerial the things, if he attains, if he becomes an MBA person and again he is going to do some other activity, he can be made a manager. That is called Vaishyatvam Labhate. If he can graduate himself Sadgunanu Pratishtitaha. So if he going up in the ladder, what will happen is that he can become Vaishyatvam, Kshatriyatvam, and Arjave, Vartamanasya, Brahmanyam Abhijayate. He can become a Brahmin also. We come across a story of Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra is a Kshatriya. He became a Brahmagnani afterwards. That is there. So this is why what we can call here is that, and then if you read Yaksha Prasnas, there the Yaksha will be asking one question to Dharmaraja. Can a Shudra become a Brahmin? Yes, he tells. Can a Brahmin falls down to a Shudra? Yes, he can become. He falls down. This is very clearly it is mentioned. But thing is that over a period of years, what happened is that ultimately this Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and all these things we have imposed the caste. Caste system has developed, and again the person who is born in the Brahmin is a Brahmin, a Kshatriya person is a Brahmin, like that it has come. It's not like that. In those days, Varnashrama Dharma is followed, and the rudiments of what we can call caste system also developed in that particular period, of course. But is broadly it is Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma, if you cannot compare, that is why only what now we are understanding Varnashrama, these 4 castes. And you cannot impose those things in Mahabharata and try to interpret Mahabharata. Mahabharata is something of that nature. Mahabharata is talking all these things, it will be talking, all the issues it will be talking. And even now we are talking about woman empowerment. That is all there in Mahabharata. Mahabharata, there are many occasions where Draupadi is advising Dharmaraja. Many times she will be advising, Kunti will be advising Dharmaraja, what you are doing like that. You are doing something wrong. Something of that nature. When Draupadi was dragged to the court of Maya's, that Sabha, Kurusabha, she poses a question, whether I am defeated by Adharma or whether I am defeated by Dharma. I should know it. Dharma vanchitana, Adharma vanchitana, like that Maya, the Pandava Vasam, if you go, many majority of the persons, the Telugu people are there, I'm telling. And here she will be telling Dharma vanchitana, Adharma vanchitana, like that she will be calling. She should know. So that type of, because when she is telling that rational and reasonable question she is posing means, it means that those days women were also having lot of knowledge, they were having lot of knowledge, and they could argue with other persons, they could pose questions, they can quote Dharma Shastras, they will be telling all these things. Draupadi Satyabhama Samvada, one chapter is there in Mahabharata, very beautiful chapter. How to entice the husband. This is the question here. How should you make the husband dance to your tunes? What is the reason, how it can be done? Satyabhama and Draupadi Samvada, big chapter is there in Mahabharata. Beautiful chapters are there in Mahabharata. So this is why it is called Panchama Veda. Means it is called whatever that is there in Vedas, everything is there here. In Mahabharata we come across 3 very, very important things we come across. One is called Sanaatana. Sanaatana is actually Sanat Kumara comes to Dhritarashtra on the request of Vidura, and he pronounces all this Niti. And again, that is Adhyatmikata, he will be teaching Dharma, the Dhritarashtra, that is called Sanaatana. It's a famous document. And then we come across, of course, Bhagavad-Gita, everybody knows. Bhagavad-Gita is a document which was Krishna delivered the entire thing, and Arjuna was a listener here, and that is Bhagavad-Gita is there. And then there is Vishnu Sahasranama, Bhishma will be telling it to Dharmaraja at the end. So you believe it or not, the importance of these things are such that Shankaracharya, while writing the commentaries, he wrote commentaries for these 3 things also. He has written commentaries. Sanasujatayam commentary is there. Bhagavad-Gita it is there, and also for Vishnu Sahasranama he has written commentary. Because of the importance that is there for these 3 tests. So these 3 things are there in Mahabharata only again. Mahabharata, because of this reason, Mahabharata, we call it as a Panchama Veda. Panchama Veda, it is having lot of what we can call small descriptions are there. And because for understanding, I told you, because it is called Mitra Samhita, like a friend, it has to tell the people. Mahabharata is there in the mind of Vedavyasa, and he wanted to narrate the entire thing to all the people. That is common people. When he want to tell the common people, he cannot tell in the way Vedas tell. So what he did was that he was doing all this activity. He will be giving a story. Agastya story is there, Vishwamitra story is there, Markandeya story is there, Sri Ramachandra story is there. Like many other stories we come across. If you count the Upakhyanas, these are called Upakhyanas, not connected to the main story. There are many persons will be coming and telling some story to Dharmaraja, or Dharmaraja will be telling to some other person, or like that. If you begin to analyze all this, is more than 1,000 stories we come across in Mahabharata. And nowadays, many mothers or fathers, they will be searching for stories. If children will be asking, my mother, my father, tell me one story in the night, means we will be searching for the stories. That is a bad shape of things that we are having. More than 1,000 Upakhyanas are there. Naladamayanti Charitra is there. Many things are there like that. Only just you have to casually see it. And whatever my advice to you is that, and maybe all of you may be knowing in spite of that, because I happen to be the guru today. So what we have to understand is that you should not read the story and leave it like that. You have to read the story, and in between the story, a lot of discussion will be there in original Mahabharata. The discussion part, normally we discard the discussion part. we take the content, only a story content we take. If you take the only story content and it is not reading of Mahabharata, people will be telling, I have read Mahabharata. I know all Mahabharata story, I know it. And and if you tell like that, you are more ignorant person. Like that, you means including me, all the persons are ignorant persons. What you have to do is that you have to read what is called the discussion between those persons. Vayasabha Draupadi was dragged to the court means what are the discussions that happened in the court are more important than what is happened at that time. Those things we have to analyze and understand. If you begin to understand and analyze, each and every story is having a message. At least some message will be there. And the Pranalika is like that. That is why it is called a Panchama Veda and we have to read it. And today, I think time is there. I believe some minutes are there. 7:15 only, another 15 minutes is there. Veda Vyasa Mahabharata, if you read Mahabharata, and here there are Mahabharata, a lot of things can be told, only two things, because my way of lecturing is that if we begin to give Sanaatana Dharma, if we give a lecture, it will be boring. So I will be telling a small story. And then as from the story, we will try to analyze certain things. Mahabharata starts, entire Mahabharata, this big Mahabharata written by Veda Vyasa, he started the story, we believe it or not, with a dog. A dog story is there in the beginning. What is the dog story? Anybody knows it? You can talk to me.
Sarameyam.
Sarameyam is there. No, Sarameyam is there. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I know that.
You know it, no? What is this Sarameyam? Why the story is introduced in Mahabharata? Other persons maybe knowing or not knowing. Briefly, I will be telling. Janamejaya. Janamejaya, you may be knowing. Janamejaya is the son of Parikshit. Parikshit is again the son of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu is the son of Arjuna. This Janamejaya is a lineage of that particular dynasty, a particular king. Arjuna is the lineage is like that. And this Janamejaya was performing a yajna. At the time, one dog comes there. The dog name is Sarameyam. The Sarameyam comes there. When he comes there, and this Janamejaya was having three brothers. The three brothers have beaten it. When they have beaten it, blood was coming out. It went to his mother and complained, Mother, it happened like that. Then Janame, that is Sarama, that mother name is Sarama. Sarama tells her, did you do anything wrong? Did you do anything wrong there? So that they have beaten you? No, Mahati, here we have to understand, when it is telling like that, normally what will happen is that when our children, when they go to the school, teacher has beaten, immediately we go there and fight with the teacher. That is the tendency nowadays. So here introspection is more important here. Whether you have done any mistake, then it will be asking like that. That is a Samskruti. The Sanaatana Dharma Samskruti is like that. It will be asking, have you done anything wrong? Then it tells, no, I have not done anything wrong. Even I have not touched the Havis, I have not seen the Havis also. Then it comes to the court of Janamejaya and it will be asking Janamejaya, it will ask Janamejaya, tell me the reason why my son is beaten up. Then the king looks at his brothers. Brothers have no answer. And Janamejaya kept quiet, he could not answer. When he could not answer, then it curses him and goes away. Because you have done a mistake. You are going to have some problem for you in future. And of course, what is the problem and all these things, that story I am not telling. This is a story of a dog. Initially it is there. The story here, what we are trying to reason out is that the dog is reprimanded here, insulted. The innocent dog is beaten up. At the end of the story, at the end of Mahabharata, maybe at the end of 18th chapters, 18 books if you begin to read, and at the end of 18 chapters, last story is Dharmaraja and of course all other Pandavas going to Swargaroha. They were walking towards Swarga. When Krishna left his mortal body and he merged with Vaikuntham, he went to Vaikuntham. At the time, what happened is that when Krishna's is no more like that, when he heard Dharmaraja heard, he decided on the spot that we are not supposed to live in this world, we have to leave. Then all the persons leave. With the Yoga Nishtha, they would be moving towards Swarga. When they were moving, Draupadi falls down. Then people will be asking, Bhima will be asking, brother, she has fallen down. Then he tells, no, she has fallen because she has one defect. All these things should I tell? I don't know, because you may be knowing the defect. What is the defect of Draupadi? Why she has fallen? Because he tells. Briefly, I will tell. And this is because the defect is that a defect in her character is that even though she is a wife of 5 persons, she was loving only Arjuna. That is the reason why she has fallen down. So they were moving like that. Sahadeva has fallen down. And then again Bhima shouts. Then he tells, Dharmaraja tells again, Sahadeva has fallen down because Sahadeva, he was thinking all the time that he was the most intelligent person. That is why he has fallen. Yeah, Nakula, because he was telling that he was feeling that he is the most handsome person in the world. Nakula is in Mahabharata, we come across many occasions wherein Nakula is the person who is most handsome person among all 5 Pandavas. He was thinking like that, that is why he has fallen. Then Arjuna has fallen down. Arjuna has fallen down. Why he has fallen down? He was having a lot of ego. Dharmaraja tells all these things. He was having a lot of ego. He was feeling that he can defeat all the 18 Achohris in one stroke, one day only. So, but he is not capable of that. He could not face Bhishma. He could not face even Karna also on one day. He could not face Dronacharya. And Krishna has done, actually, he has helped, and because of this reason, he could conquer all those persons. But he was having the ego. Even at the end of the war also, he was feeling that he was the only person who defeated all the Kauravas. So that is the reason why he has fallen. Then Bhima has fallen down. At the time he shouts, brother, I am also falling down. Then he tells, oh Bhima, you are also falling down because you are a glutton. You are eating too much. That is your mistake, so you have fallen down. Then Dharmaraja goes. One dog also will be following. Indra comes there in a chariot and tells Dharmaraja, I did not find any defect in your character, and you can come with mortal body. Please sit in my chariot, we will go there. Then he tells us, I will sit in your chariot. Please ask this dog also, let it also enter. Then he says, no, it cannot enter. How can a dog come to the court of Swargaloka? He will be asking. Then he tells one thing, no, this is following me. Then Indra asks one question, you have discarded all your brothers. Then why you are attached to this dog? Then he tells, no, I have not discarded my brothers, you have to understand. The thing is that they have fallen down and they have died. When they are dead, so Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu, that is they died. For dead people, we are not supposed to weep. That is also there in Bhagavad-Gita. We are not supposed to weep. That is why I did not wept. I did not leave them. If they are alive, I would have taken them also along with me. So this is following me. A follower, you are not supposed to leave. So that is why it should follow. He tells so many things he will tell. Ultimately, he tells Saranagata, person who is in Saranagata, a lady, and a person who is continuously following you throughout your life, or at the end of your life, a person is following you. The follower you are not supposed to leave. This is Dharma, he tells. Then the dog disappears and Yamadharmaraja appears there. This is the story, of course, and the rest of the story is there. Here, what is the message of the story here? That the messages are to both stories. We are having the messages. The message at the end of the story is that you are not supposed to leave your people. When you are climbing up and up in the ladder in the life, you are not supposed to forget the persons who have helped you. That is one thing. Thing is that you have to take them into confidence. You have to take them also along with you. They also should rise along with you. That is there. You are not supposed to discard them. That is a great message that is there at the end. And the thing is that is Dharma. Of course, dead people, you are not supposed to weep. That is also there. Again, Adhyatmikata is there also there. In the first story, again, I have already told that you are not what is called, you have to introspect first, whether you have done a mistake. That is one thing. And what is the two stories again tell? That is also very, very important. What are the two stories convey to us? If you read the entire Mahabharata, a person who is not at all a dharmic person, that is called a not dharmic person, only beats the innocent person. He can become what is called a very dharmic person like Dharmaraja, and he will take the person along with him only. The dog which is reprimanded at the beginning is given lot of prominence at the end. So Mahabharata, the construction of the story is such that Mahabharata, otherwise Saramayam story has no relevance in Mahabharata. It is not at all connected also. Why the story has introduced? So you can't understand this. Why this story is written down? Because if you read Mahabharata, the first story we come across is Saramayam. No relevance of the story, not connected to the main story. Janameji, of course, he goes away. Of course, some other aspect, and there is a story. This it misses from the thread is missing again. It is just like that. The story is put there. Why the story is put it there means the story is people will be like this in the beginning. The people will become like that at the end. If you read the Mahabharata, this is the entire picture of Mahabharata. Entire picture of the Mahabharata is conveyed between two now stories are there. Like that, this is the even in the Sanatana Dharma entire pranalika is such that why Vedas are written down, particular reason, why Itihas are written for particular reason, and again Puranas again for very very common people. That is why it is elaborated versions, and all these things are structured in such a fashion. And again, in each and every Purana or each and every Itihasa or Vedas, all these places, all other things are also there. What is called Dhanurveda is there, Ayurveda is there, Gandharva Veda is there, and everything is there, and including what we can call Vedic mathematics, and all these things are there in Vedas only. Everything is there. Same thing is there. Mahabharata it is there. Ramayana it is there. All these places we come across. The traditions, what are traditions that are followed in those years are still being followed. Many traditions are still we are having. And with Valmiki Ramayana, if you read the marriage between Rama and Sita, whatever shlokas those are told at that time, even now also the same shlokas are being repeated in Vivaha time. That is called marriage time. The shlokas are being written and again they will be told. There will be people will be telling the same shlokas they will be telling. There are certain traditions are there. Even now also those traditions will be following. Crude traditions, of course. Crude traditions means that those traditions are there. There is, I don't know how many persons Kshatriyas are there or not. Even now also, each and every important occasion, they will be putting a stick-like of thing they will be putting and they will be doing puja. And then after that, Prithu Maharaj story, if you read in Mahabharata, Prithu Maharaj story, that particular event occurs. Even now also, Kshatriyas will be following those things. Similarly, small things also, whatever that is being followed in those days are now, even now also, those are followed. Even Shakuna Shastra is there. Shakuna Shastra, even now also we believe the Shakuna Shastras. And when the chariots were going, racing towards the Kurukshetra war, at the time, lot of dust has come up this way, maybe, whatever it may be. Similar type of things, if we happen, even now we believe. Why we believe? Why we believe is that the traditions are so much rooted down in our society, rooted down in our culture, that we can't forget it. That is why Hindu religion could not be wiped out from the earth, even though many other religions were wiped out either by the sword or either by the preachings continuously. But here they could not. Even India was conquered the 13th century or 11th century, I think. His name, Muhammad Ghazani, when he came to India, and at that time, Ghazani period only, I believe, that Nalanda University or some other person, I could not know correctly, that Nalanda University was burnt for thousands of years, hundreds of days, some days at least, some 20 to 30 days, it was burnt. The university was such big that it was burnt for 25 days or 30 days, it was burnt. So many volumes of book. All volumes are majority of the books were Buddhist books. Buddhism was extinct from India because of this reason, because Buddhism, entire Buddhism principles were there only. But here in India, what happened? Hindu culture, it could not be taken out by all these persons, 1,000 years of Muslim rule and 300 years of English rule. At the time also, they could not wipe out the culture, because in every house, every person, this is actually, it is structured in such a fashion. Mantras are structured in such a fashion that it is learnt by rote, and somebody will be pronouncing and some other will be understanding. It is going on for generation to generation. It is going on. What will happen is that how many persons you can kill? 100 persons you can kill, 1,000 persons you can kill. Each and every village people are there. They know Vedas. They will be pronouncing it. They know Mahabharata. They will be pronouncing it. You believe it or not, even when I am a child, in each and every village, maybe 60 years back, now I am 60. Maybe when I was 10 years or 12 years also, Harikatha Dasas will be coming to my village. And Harikatha will be told in the night. And Bayal Nataka means there is street Nataka. Will be there every Sivaratri and some other days. That is the only enjoyment. People will be knowing all the what is called poems and all these things. Now the culture has extinct because by introduction of the TV has come. When it has TV has come, and automatically serials have come. People are now, if I go to my village, I will be, even now I feel very bad because of the culture of TV. TV, I don't say it is bad, but people are accustomed to what is serials. Serials they will be seeing serials. What will happen is that lot of violence and mother-in-law, daughter-in-law fights. This type of things have to come up because of these serials only, I believe. Maybe those things were not there in those days. People were having this type of things only. People, we used to play the gavvalata, what we can call the shells we will be taking out, we will be doing some mata. Those type of things were there in those days. Maybe my generation only I have seen. Maybe there are some elder persons are there here. They must have seen much more all these things. They must have seen all these things. The tension is now because it is going out because of the influence of this what is called unnecessary culture, some culture, and now we can't avoid it. At least Veda Samskruti organizations, these type of organizations, at least for some people, maybe out of 100 people are there, people are, you are giving the introduction that 100 students are there, at least 50 people are there now. 50 people are, at least something will be listened and they will be telling something to their students. So normally, whatever we hear for 1 hour will be remembering 30% of it for 3 days or 4 days. After maybe after 30 days, you will be only 1 to 5 minutes lecture only you will be having in your mind. This is normal human tendency in all classes. Maybe not only this class, maybe in some other classes also I experienced. I was a professor for 10 years. All the 10 years I have seen. And I am also a student in many places. I also remember only a few things, very important things I will be remembering. And subsequently, everything will be left out, will be going out of our memory because of so many reasons, of course. So here, at least something will be going. The Veda Samskruti Samiti is doing a great work. I thank Veda Samskruti Samiti because 7:30 is now there, 6:31 our lecture is over now. And now I ask you some questions are there, something any doubts are there, or maybe I again and again I humbly say that I'm not a great scholar. You can interact with me, and if I am going wrong anyway, you can correct me also, and you can also give your opinion, and I will hear as a student now. Please.
ధన్యవాదः Nagaraja garu. Now we will have some interaction, as you said. I think now Ramakrishna wants to talk to you.
Yeah, namaste Andy. Thank you. Namaste Ramakrishna and thank you for your wonderful insightful lecture. ఒక నాకు డౌట్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మన అర్జునుడు ఇప్పుడు మన గీతా ఉపదేశం అంతా అయిన తర్వాత కూడా మీరు అన్నట్టుగా ఆయన ఇప్పటికీ కూడా గర్వం పెట్టుకున్నాడు అని అంటే గీతోపదేశం అంతా అయింది కదా, మరి ఎట్లా ఆయనలో ఇంకా రిటైన్ అయింది, అది నాకు డౌట్.
అవునండి, అది గీతోపదేశం జరిగిపోయింది కదండి. గీతోపదేశం జరిగిపోయిన తర్వాత నేను అనుకుంటది ఏమిటంటే, because there are some non-Telugu people are there, and here when Gita Upadesha was over, and he went and fought for the sake of Kshatriya Dharma, he wanted to protect, because that is precisely what Krishna told. Krishna never told that you should do war, and he was not inciting violence. He was telling you follow Kshatriya Dharma, and he followed the Kshatriya Dharma, and he did the entire thing. But when the war period, 18 days war took place, no, when the 18 days war took place, normally the ego will be coming up. No, that is what I just now I told. No, whatever you hear the lecture, it will be retained in your mind for 3 days only. Even now also psychology people tell the same thing only. Maybe after 10 days, only 5 minutes lecture only you will be understanding. Afterwards you will be forgetting. Maybe Arjuna also must have felt the same thing. 18 days of war, he has conquered so many persons. Many great warriors have fallen down on the field. Maybe ego has cropped up again. So he must be feeling that I am the only person who destroyed the entire people around us. Maybe this is a psychology again. Maybe after some days, you forget the original thing. You come across in Mahabharata only at the end. He will be asking again, say Krishna, on that day you told something, I heard something, and I have forgotten everything. Why don't you tell me once again like that, he asks. Then Krishna will not tell all those things. That even telling Adhyatmikata also, the fertile time is also there. When the fertile time is there only you should tell, because you cannot teach Bhagavad Gita to some persons who is not interested, or even though he is interested, you cannot call him, come here, sit here and I will tell you Bhagavad Gita, he will never listen. The mind also, the fertile, even like a seed, when it is to be planted, the soil should be ready for it. No, like that. This is also same thing. Here also the soil of our mind should be ready for accepting. Receptance purpose it should be there. So Arjuna has heard everything, but again he has forgotten all those things after 18 days. So at the end of the war, again he will be telling Krishna, because of me only, the entire people have fallen down. Then one more great story is there. No, Arjuna, Krishna comes down, Arjuna comes down, and then the entire chariot went into flames. This story is also there. And why it happened is because this is Krishna was protecting, Hanuman was protecting. It happened like that. But Arjuna was feeling like that because memory will be fading away. Maybe that is the reason, Andy.
May I add a line here? I am Prabhakar here.
Sir,
Okay.
namaste.
I would like to add a here line. The ego was present, was there in his nature all throughout. But that has been removed by Krishna for sake of this thing. And ego was there. Ego was there. The karma was done by him. Not that he is having ego at the time of going to the Swargarohana. It's not that he was having ego at that time. That ego karma was done by him. That karma always stays back. He has to face that karma which he has done earlier. The destiny has to do that. Yes, that is the reason. Yes, but just like Dharmaraja has told a lie which has carried along with him to the Narakaloka for a second. So similarly, Arjuna also, the ego that he has presented earlier in his life has made him to fall down.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason. Not that Arjuna is having ego at that time. If he is having ego at that time, he would not have followed Dharmaraja at all.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, somebody has commented, we are surrounded by Maya. Maybe same with Arjuna.
Maybe.
Okay. Sisi Babu garu, you ask?
Namaskaram Andi. My point is that everyone had the problem, so they fell down. And Dharmaraja, since Judah is a Vyasana, which is bad, which has been the famous, his passion. Why is Dharmaraja, who has played Judah and lost everything, including his people, is going to Swarga and he is not reprimanded for his sin of playing Judah?
Yes, sir. There is one story normally not known to many persons, sir. Maybe you must not have read this story. And I'll be telling the story. If time permits, if time is there, means I'll be telling briefly the story. Dharmaraja's Pratigna, there is one chapter is there in Mahabharata, sir. The Dharmaraja's Pratigna is that Dharmaraja is not at all an addict with the dice. He actually, when Vidura comes and invited him to the what is called court of Kurusabha for playing the dice, he tells it is wrong. It is not correct to play. All these things he will tell. And normally we feel that everywhere it is depicted in such a way that Dharmaraja is a Vyasana. He was having the Vyasanam. Because of this Vyasanam only he entered into the what is called game of dice, and he got defeated. And he got defeated, and he also bet his brothers, he bet his wife, and all these things we will be reading. But the reason is something different. When Shishupala Vadha takes place, Rajasuya Yaga takes place, Shishupala was killed by Sri Krishna, everybody knows it. When Shishupala was killed, that was a great event, to be frank, because in a court, in a particular court, big court, a particular king, great king was killed by Krishna, means nobody could object Krishna. That is the greatness of Krishna and the greatness of these Pandavas and all this. In the court it happened. So Dharmaraja was actually very fearful at that time. He was feared, and what will happen in the future. He was wondering. Then everybody left. Vedavyasa was also leaving. He accompanied Vedavyasa. This story is there in Mahabharata. When he was accompanying Vedavyasa, after going one kilometer distance or 2 kilometers distance, he asked Vedavyasa, Mahan Bhava, I am asking one question. Please tell me. Thing is that here, with the death of Shishupala, all this violence is over, or still anything is there left out? Please tell me like that. Then Vedavyasa tells one thing. Dharmaraja, I will be telling one thing. In another 13 years, because of your reason, the wordings are there. In Sanskrit wordings are very, very specific wordings are there. Because of your reason, and the entire Kshatriya families will die. You will be the reason. Bhima Arjuna Balenacha. Like that also he will tell. Bhima and Arjuna Bala will be the support. And you are the reason for it. Because of this reason, entire Kshatriya Kula will be extinguished from the earth. Like that he tells. And he tells and goes out. Dharmaraja could not understand this. Because of I should not become the reason for the death of many persons. So when it becomes normally, when I am not following the dictates of my dayadis means cousins, whatever they tell, I follow. Then what will happen? There will not be any fight at all. Whatever they tell, I will follow. Then there will not be any fight at all. And then one more thing is that I will not be getting any angry with any person from now onwards. These are the two pratignas he takes on the spot these days. And he will be telling the same things to Pandavas also. Because of my reason, it should not happen. So that is why I am taking a pratigna. Dharmaraja pratigna. Then one chapter itself is there in Mahabharata. And he takes these two pratignas he takes. Whatever my dayadis are telling, whatever my Peddappa, Doddappa, what we can call father's brother, Dhritarashtra, whatever he tells, I will follow him. I will not say no to him. These are the two things I have taken pratigna. He takes the pratigna at that time. When he takes the pratigna, what will happen is that when Vidura comes and invites, your dayas are asking you to come there. He cannot deviate from the pratigna. He has to go there because Dhritarashtra is giving orders. When he is telling, I can't say that even though it is a Judam, it is called the dice game is bad. I can't say that I cannot come. Dharmaraja is a Vyasanapara. Thing is that he, because of their pratigna, he goes there. He goes there, and again they will be asking you play. Then he will be asking who is the other player opposite to me. Then they will be telling this is a particular person. Then also he could have avoided. Thing is that I play with the equal person only. I can play with Duryodhana. I can't play with the Shekuni. He could have told. But why he was telling? Duryodhana was asking, he is on my behalf. He is sitting and you sit on Pandava's behalf and do the game. Because he has taken the pratigna that he should not deviate from the Dayadis. That is called his cousins. So he followed it. So everything is according to the pratigna. This pratigna is there for 13 years only. Again, he was telling. At the end of 13 years, the pratigna is no more. Now he is ready for fight. So this because of this pratigna only he went there. Because of this pratigna only he followed all those things and he went there. This is a subtle chapter. Normally, very, very minor. It is a chapter consisting of some 3-4 pages only it is there. But the very important chapter. The important chapter people normally will not read it because I told you in the beginning itself that the 1 lakh shlokas Mahabharata, I don't know anybody has. I told very difficult read, sir. That is I can understand because it took for me 5 years to read it. Mahabharata, entire Mahabharata, 5 years and understanding it. And afterwards, I thought that maybe I forget it. That is why I will be accepting this type of lectures because of the precise reason is that I will be refreshing my mind more than telling to other person. I will be again reading it. Whenever I read the book again, I will be understanding the new aspects, sir. You read Mahabharata is such a big one that each and every time you read, you will be understanding something different only again. And you will be again coming to know that whatever I have understood earlier is something like that.
Namaste, sir.
Thank you very
Actually,
much. Thank you. Thank you.
no, sir, just one thing. Actually, in those days, it was the rule of that is a sort of condition for Kshatriyas. Whenever any Kshatriya invites a Kshatriya to come for playing dice,
Yes, madam.
Kshatriya should not refuse. Even
That
that
is also
was
one dharma,
the
madam.
common social rule in those days.
Yes, madam. That was
Even
also there,
due
madam.
to that reason also, due to his vows, Dharmaraja took, and also due to this Kshatriya Dharma, and also because his father, elder father is asking him to come, that is the command. So he has to follow. So due to all these reasons, he went there.
Yes,
And
madam.
after playing these dice also, during playing those doors, when he has already got defeated, so he became the servant of Duryodhana. So whatever Duryodhana commands, he has to oblige.
Yes,
That is
madam.
the reason why he asked Draupadi also. When they asked Draupadi also to put as Pana, he has to accept.
Yes, madam.
Because at that time he was the servant, in fact, according to Dharma, according to his mentality. So he followed the verdict of the Yajamani and called Draupadi. So Draupadi is Dharma Vijita, not Adharma Vijita. That was the secret,
Oh,
actually.
that was the secret. Maybe there are two ways of argument, madam. What you are telling is correct only, but still is that this is Adharma Vijita also we can tell one way. No, because
Of
and
course.
when he is a servant, and servant has nothing with him, and he could have told Duryodhana at the time that I have nothing, because Shakuni will be last the end. He will be telling you are having one more thing which you can bet. That one more thing is not there. He could have told. Emphatically, he could have told. But he has not told. Why he has not told? Because Draupadi was won by Arjuna. Basically, she is Arjuna's wife. No, because he has not aimed the arrow and he has not gained Draupadi. It was gained by Arjuna, and because they have married. That is a different issue. Even though they have married, originally she was gained by Arjuna only, and he cannot. If he bets her, how can he bet it? He could have told it, because
No,
I.
he cannot say, sir, because though Arjuna won her, even then, the moment when all these five Pandavas married her, she
Correct.
became their property.
Then
And
he could have told, no,
he
madam.
is husband and she is the wife. So due to dharma, he has to accept the words of Duryodhana.
Agree, madam. Thing is that what I am trying to tell is that he could have told, I have nothing to bet. I have nothing, because when I have lost everything, everything belongs to you only. Then why he has put again? Not required, no. It is not
Suppose
required to
he
put.
says,
Nothing is there for him.
suppose Dharmaraja says the same word which you have said, the word itself gives the sense that even Draupadi is their property.
Their property, then he no need not put again, no, madam. That is what I am telling. He need not put the Draupadi again, no.
Because they wanted her to enter into this sabha.
That
He
is
has to
at
accept.
their discretion. They could have called or whatever they could have done. It is no property is there for him now. He is
They felt
already
that
he is a slave. He is a
these
slave.
Chatushthaya wantedly wanted Draupadi
Yes,
to be
that is why only
in the
that is
sabha.
why
That
only
is
even
the reason.
Bhishmacharya could
I
not
think
answer.
living systems cannot be put as item for that was the wrong. He should not have put himself also as a bait. Only non-living systems, non-living things can be put as bait, but no living person, including himself. I don't think that was the wrong step.
That is the thing, sir. That is why only when Bhishma Draupadi asked the question in the court of Kurusabha, Bhishma could not answer because of this reason only. Dharma is so subtle, it is difficult to interpret also. Whether she is
Because the
correct.
basis of any of living of us, any personality is God. Because spiritually, God is there with every person. So it cannot be a subject of bait. Only inanimate objects should have been put as bait. That is another solution of this. Sir, I have a question. Actually, I got interpretation of the Bhagavad-Gita and the Kurukshetra Yuddha. Kurukshetra Yuddha.
Just one moment, just 1 second. Even for that, Bhishmacharya answers to Draupadi later at the time of giving this Gita Upadesha. He says that because I am eating the food of Duryodhana, who is Atharma, who is a culprit, who is having all evil gunas. So even that came into my mind unknowingly, and though I know what is dharma, what is not dharma, yet because of the food I am eating from Duryodhana's money, because I am working for him, I have happened to shut down my mouth at that time when this Draupadi insult is being done in Kurusabha. So I could not say anything. Nothing, Spurinchadam, he said, nothing came into my mind. I could not talk. I just closed my eyes. That is the answer he gave. And being an Ampaseya, when Draupadi questions Bhishmacharya.
Madam, one my submission is that this story is not there in the Gita Press textbook, madam. I don't know which Mahabharata it is there.
But it is there. It is there. I read.
Those many misconceptions are there, madam. This may be one more misconception. I don't know because this is WhatsApp. I have read it. This story also, what you have told. WhatsApp story I have read it. But in original Mahabharata, because of this reason, I searched for it. Gita Press book, it is not there. Any other prati it is there, I don't have idea. But in Mahabharata textbook printed by Gita Press, it is not there. This story is not there. Eating the food of Duryodhana and all these things are not there.
Okay, let us close that question there. We'll go to Gautam Mughal.
Yes.
Sir, actually, there is a spiritual interpretation of the Kurukshetra war. That it is that this correspondence can be, this war can be mapped, all the characters can be mapped to our different vrittis.
Yes,
Duryodhan, it is a dumb and this, to dominate on others, this kind of characteristic. Dushasana is the last. Different vrittis are there, internal vrittis. And Krishna is the God who is guiding us, and the Arjuna is the Jivatma, means we, and we are using all these our good powers, good characteristics are our Pandavas. We are using all good characteristics, and we are fighting with all the bad chittavrittis, including the Bhishma and Drona. They are sometimes there will be elders, but who are not fully aware of the spiritual path, but still doing some. They are as if in their favor of the Jivatma, but not fully aware of the things. So they also should be ignored. When the kill means ignored in this case. So so that was the spiritual interpretation, that inside of every Jivatma there is a fight, eternal fight between for the path of moksha. It is a fight is there to defeat all the bad chittavrittis using our good property. Those are the Kaurav and Pandav Paksha. And that was the interpretation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now let's have KM Rao garu. He wants to speak, I think.
No, sir, I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Yeah. May I tell one more thing actually? Yeah. Is that because of this Kurukshetra war that we have lost so many Kshatriya and their Kshatriya technologies, that they finally we became devoid of all these things and all the knowledges and power, and we are defeated by first Muslims and then British and so on. But had there been, say, even power of Duryodhan or Bhim, all they would be there. So both the parties, there had not been any Kurukshetra war. Would the India be defeated by Muslims and British? That is the question.
That is a historical question, also. Historical question may not be, because we have to understand the depth of the answer from the 1,000 years of civilization. We have to read out. Muslim, different reasons are there for Muslims conquering India, different reasons, and again, my own perception is that the unity among Hindus was not there even at that time, or even now also it is not there. Because of this reason, we are being ruled by many other persons. Maybe from the beginning itself, that is there. Maybe from the time of Alexander also, it happened like that. Maybe at the time of Muslims invasion also, it happened like that. And also now also, we are having even internally also, there are many persons who don't support the cause of Sanaatana Dharma. That is also there. And maybe if internal defect is there, outside help cannot help. No, sir. That is, I personally feel like that. Maybe that is there.
May I add here? The Sanaatana Dharma has got a concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is one thing. And second thing, Sanaatana Dharma has got a concept of opposing a person who is doing adharma. So you oppose your own brother, you oppose your own son, if adharma is being done. That is there in your concept, it's in your this thing. That is the inherent tendency of our dharma.
Yes, sir.
When
That is
somebody is
correct.
going adharma, you are supposed to oppose it.
It is
So
a
that
simple,
way
sir,
it
basically.
becomes a not having unity.
Yes, sir.
That not having unity made us succumb to Rakshasas. They are not different people. Muslims are not different people. Christians are not different people. They are all Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is same. But they are having Rakshasa pravritti of killing for the things that they don't believe, that the others do not believe. They don't, what they say, if the others do not believe, they are supposed to kill. That is the tendency exhibited in our Sanatana Dharma stories also. What is the why a Sudarshan Chakra's avatara, Kartavirya Arjuna, why has been killed by Parashurama? So Kartavirya is not a small person. He is an avatar of Sudarshan Chakra. That person has been killed. Why? Because he told, I am the great. I am following Datta, and everybody should follow Datta only. Nobody should follow the other gods. He has started dictating certain things which are not as per Dharma. Why Hiranyakashipu has been killed? Hiranyakashipu is a great person. Why he has been killed? Because he is telling the only nobody should follow Vishnu. No. So everybody should follow me only. Whatever I say, if everybody should pray me only as God. That Rakshasa pravritti. If I don't follow me as a God, I will kill you. That Rakshasa pravritti is being exhibited now by the Dharma, Abrahamic religions. That is the reason why they are different from us. That's why the enmity is going on. Otherwise, what is the problem? Everybody is human. The reasons are same. The living things are equal to everybody. Why should we fight? Everybody can live together happily. So that is the reason. The Rakshasa pravritti makes the people do these things.
Sir,
So,
you wanted to ask some questions.
Hello. Namaste.
Okay, I think now we are running out of time. Only one more question we will take. Remaining we will, address tomorrow. Uma Raman.
Namaste. It was a very good session. Regarding Mahabharata, I am a Reiki teacher. I teach Reiki, a healing system. And in that, suddenly I had once I had insight that Mahabharata is going within our body. Like Panchatattva is representative of Panch Pandav. And our mental body is like Kaurava, mind is like Duryodhan, and his wishes are like Kaurav Sena. So in Panch Tattva, Akash Tattva is like Yudhishthir, Vayu Tattva is like Bhim, and Jala Tattva is Arjun, and other two Nakul Sahdev. And this Vayu body is tied with wisdom, and that wisdom is Draupadi, and it has tolerance to take orders of mind all the time. And the tolerance is Kunti. And mind will keep on imposing orders and wishes. Body is exhausted because of mind's wishes to fulfill. So in this situation, the body becomes diseased because cause of all diseases are root cause is in mind, mental thought process. So when body fills with diseases, it is like increasing adharma. When we go to Guru or such healing energies or power, that is incarnation of Krishna without body. And that power, invisible power without body, is like Krishna. And when it takes action, that body get rid of diseases slowly. So this is Kurukshetra Mahabharata. That was happened in Kurukshetra. It is in our body. Astinapur, made of Asti. That was in Astinapur. It is. And after this process of do's and don'ts, this energy clears our diseases. So again, Dharma restores, means body becomes healthy. So this is our attachment is like Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. We never listen elders only after getting Edur Dabbalu, means hardships, then only we get lesson. They are like hardships in life is like Kripacharya and Dronacharya. And inner voice always tells, no, this is wrong, but we ignore. That inner voice is like Bhishma Pitama. And our illogical logics, always we prove right as wrong, wrong as right. That illogical thought capacity, logic is like Shakuni, which always tries to prove it is wrong, it is right, and provokes us to go towards bad things and get trapped in the problems and diseases. So that happens in 18 days. And this healing process, we say in 21 days, your body will be detoxified and become healthy after practicing this Reiki energy system. So
You
this
left
is
Karna, madam.
Karna
Mahodaya,
is
you left Karna.
like less. Sometimes we are sincere and but foolish also. So I find Karna is sincere towards Duryodhana, but foolish, having so many capabilities. He totally wasted his capacities. Sometimes our foolishness and sincerity combination, that gunas are like Karna. That is what.
Yeah.
Dhanyawad.
Thank you.
My observation. Thank you for giving this chance to express my
One person has
feeling.
put in the chat box asking that where exactly Bhagavad-Gita is available in Mahabharata. It is available in Bhishma Parva. There are 18 Parvas are there in Mahabharata. Adi Parva, Sabha Parva, Vana Parva, like that it is there. Bhishma Parva, this is there. This Bhagavad-Gita we come across in Bhishma Parva.
Okay.
Did Sanjay told on first day or Sanjay told on 10th day?
10th day, sir. It is on 10th day. So because the Dhritarashtra 10 days after war, Dhritarashtra will be calling Bhishma has fallen down. Then he calls. Then on the one night, 10 days Yuddha he will be describing, and then he will be describing.
So Dhritarashtra didn't bother for 10 days. What is
Dhritarashtra did not
happening?
bother because he was
What is
having the
happening in the
confidence.
war? What is happening in the war?
He was
Huh?
having the confidence that Bhishma is there, he can conquer. When Bhishma has fallen down, then he got afraid. Maybe, I don't know. Then he called. Then Sanjaya started telling. 11th day of Mahabharata war only the narration of Bhagavad Gita took place. That the narration of Gita by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra took place.
Okay.
Yes,
On the
sir.
spot narration, 11th day only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dhanyawad.
Yes, sir.
So you must have narrated all the recorded version.
Which one, sir?
10 days are over, all the recorded version you must have narrated.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. But at 10 days version, he will be telling. Then Veda Vyasa comes, gives him the powerful insight, and then with that insight.
So 700 slokas he by-hearted by hearing.
Hearing, sir.
By one hearing. Ekasandhagrahi.
Sir, just a minute. The moment Dhritarashtra heard about the fall of Bhishmacharya, then he gets frightened about the security of Duryodhana.
Yes, madam. Exactly correct.
Yes, then he starts questioning all this. So he calls Sanjaya, and at that time Vedavyasa comes there, and Vedavyasa wanted actually to give this Divya Drishti to Dhritarashtra, but he did not accept. So he gave, Vedavyasa gave this Divya Drishti to Sanjaya, who then gets the power to see into past, future and present. So he saw with his eyes what all had happened all these 10 days. Then what is happening at present? Then he narrated.
Dhanyavadaha Vishalashi Mahodaya. Now I think we have passed that time. Now we will do Prarthana. Is it okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
No. We'll do Prarthana and Janaganamana. Request all of you to stay back and do Janaganamana. Okay. Let us do Prarthana, Vasundharaji.
अस्तु महोदय. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
धन्यवादः Vasundhara Mahoday. Now we will have Janaganamana. Request all of you to stand up, mute your mics, and all of you sing Janaganamana. And CC Babu Garu will sing for all of us. Thank you.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल धायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद।